Hi, this is Ben Rogers. This is the Property Diary. This is Saturday the 9th of February. I'm just back after a fairly long old day doing a deal clinic in the office. Myself and 7 others in my offices in Gillingham. Those 7 others were literally coming down to the office today to spend the day with me, watch me doing deals, a bit like I did last Saturday. Another really great day. I think there's been quite a few sort of aha moments for people in the room today. I think part of the feedback was that it was just good to watch somebody else making the phone calls. It was good to see that it was very conversational. Good to see that it wasn't kind of a Spanish Inquisition of, badgering questions one after the other. It was just very much conversational flow. Again, the pointing out was that it's not about the property. One of the guys was saying it was just gobsmacked at my kind of complete almost lack of interest in the property. He was saying that he would have known the inside out of the property, where it was, what was around it, the colour of the carpet, everything, that level of detail. And he was quite surprised that I just wasn't really interested in that. And he's right, I'm not interested in what the property's like. I'm interested in what the transactional process is. I'm interested in what the problem is that I need to solve. And I think that was quite a big eye-opener for at least a couple of people in the room today. So, what did the day hold? We sort of talked about some of the marketing bits and pieces to start off with, and then we really got into sort of jumping on the phone. And I was making a whole bunch of calls to the text messages. I would say that the guys in the office for me yesterday went through the normal 7 newspapers and probably texted maybe about 45-50 people. I would say, and these are landlords advertising their probably to let locally throughout Kent. And I would say that we probably had about 12-13 sort of positive responses, a bunch of not so positive responses, and some of them just saying, hey, the property's let. And that's great because, as far as I'm concerned, that's in the hopper. That's in the hopper for sort of 5-6 months' time. Another telephone conversation there. Hey, you had a property, it was up for rent about 6 months ago. Just checking to see whether the tenants are moving on or whether you've got an available property right now. And then also was calling leads that have come through from our leaflets, a couple that have come through from our SMS short code text, which could have come from bandit boards or could have come from my ugly car or van. So it was a kind of mixture, and there are different techniques that I use when I'm speaking to people. Excuse me. One of the things that you'll always hear me talking about is kind of the third party officer. I'm never talking about what I can do for them. I'm never talking about what my solution is for them. What I'm talking about is how I've helped other people in the same sort of situation as them, how we've been able to work with them, and floating some ideas across. And I think it went really, really well today. I find that if I suppose I started the phone calls about 10:30, maybe 11:15 by the time we got round to it, and we went on till probably about 4:30 this afternoon. I would say we probably only spoke to 11 or 12 people during that time, and some ranged from a sort of 2 or 3 minutes, probably 5, 6, 7 minutes in reality, because I was really sort of showing what sort of conversations could happen to the guys in the room, but they were really not going to go anywhere. There are others that obviously did go somewhere, and I would say that out of the people that we spoke to, there's probably about 3 opportunities that have got real potential. And when I talk about real potential, the level of conversation was very deep. It was very sort of detailed about what the problem was. It was going into a whole bunch of different scenarios where we could help, and it was taking it to the next step. And the next step really is probably the email from me confirming what we're going to do, a conversation next week, and then taking it to the heads of terms level. So that's 3 potential deals. One of those deals was actually a guy in Spain who's got 2 properties. 2 properties up in the sort of Midlands area, and we had 3 conversations. the first conversation he had to stop because he had to go and do some Botox for somebody. He's a nurse and do some Botox out in Spain for one of his clients. Second time we had to stop because when we called him back, he was just coming out of the supermarket. So third time lucky, and we got through to him. And the bizarre thing is that he's actually had a lady call him again from a Gumtree response. I came across him via Gumtree, and the response was that this company is like an online auction house. And the funny thing was, we worked out and we kind of did the maths, and the maths were that if he actually sold his property via this auction house, he was going to make probably about £35,000, kind of probably sort of straight away from the two properties. If he did it our way, he would make nearer £95,000. And I think that was a bit of an eye-opener for him, but it's that trade-off. Money now versus money, 7, 8, 9, 10 years in the future. So we then kind of took it to the next step, which was, could we give him a bit of money now and some in the future? Would that work for him? And all of a sudden kind of the ears pricked up over in Spain, and that was more interesting. And then we took it a little bit further and said, look, hey, could we maybe do some now, some in a couple of years' time, some 5 years' time, and the back end into the 10 years' time? And again, the ears are well and truly picked up now. Now, can I do that? Well, I don't know. I haven't really looked at the maths of it yet. But all I'm trying to find out is where are they at, and where can we actually make it work for them? All right. So that was that one. What else we got here? Oh, the other thing is that one of my attendees in the office today, nobody had come with any leads they wanted me to call, but there was kind of this aha moment that one of the ladies had because she was looking to rent somewhere herself. And blimey, she suddenly thought, well, hang on a minute. Although that wasn't right for me, this is perfect for an option. So she went away at lunchtime, gave the lady a call and said, look, Ben's going to give you a call after lunch and we'll see if we can't do something. So I called her. We had a long 44-minute conversation on the phone. And the deal went up and down, and what we realised was that ideally what she wanted was some money up front, and she wanted probably about £10,000 up front. Now we delved into it, and she's just come out of the army. She's bought a hairdresser's, and she wants to put some money into that. She owes some friend a bit of money. I think she's about £3,000 worth of debt she wants to pay off, and the rest is just to kind of live on. Now, delve a bit deeper, and she probably only really needs £7,000. Delve a bit deeper and work out what she wants as kind of living money. And I managed to, and this was kind of a real sort of eye-opener for the guys in the room, she wanted more cash, and I actually ended up giving her less cash, because I ended up giving her less cash by giving her more cash overall. So instead of giving her £23,000 over 7 years, I said, look, I'll tell you what, rather than giving you sort of 7 to 10 grand up front, how about if I just give you £5,000 up front? If I can maybe give you, another 2,000 in 6 months' time, maybe another 2,000 sort of in 12 months' time. And if we could maybe give you sort of say £29,000 instead of £23,000. And what I'm doing there is this great big thing that's attached to our neck, and boom, 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 boom. It's the greed gland. You've got to appeal to people's greed gland. And that's what I did with this lady. I basically said, look, we can give you more money for this property if you'll work with me. Remember my mantra? Your price, my terms? That's exactly what we were doing here. So, turned out an absolute treat. Trina, who had actually come to the day with no idea, had this aha moment throughout the day, realised there's an opportunity, realised she'd get hold of the person. I then spoke to her, did the deal over the phone for her, and Trina's chuffed to bits that she's walking away with a deal from the day. So a really, really good result for Trina. Well done. And then we just finished off the day. There were sort of 6 of us still in the office, or 7 of us in total. And Martin Matthews, my buddy, who runs a whole bunch of cashflow games, we'd arranged to do a bit of a cashflow session this evening. So a bunch of people in the room, myself included, had never ever played cashflow. So 6 of us, brand new newbies at cashflow, and we had a good old session of cashflow, the game this evening. Really, really interesting. Really enjoyed it, and looking forward to playing a lot more in the future. So thank you very much, Martin. Great game. So there we go. That's Ben. This is the Property Diary. This is Saturday the 9th of February. I hope you found that interesting. Look forward to speaking to you next week. You take care.